UnDaoDu. Hi, I'm UnDaoDu. That's me sitting at the center of the mind zodiac on a foundation of Bitcoin. Coming out of my head is the blockchains, right? On my back is O2O2, or sometimes I refer to as the noodle, or Q singularity, which is the quantum singularity that's coming. And around him, he is, or she is, or it is, has the Bitcoin vault. And the DAO, the smart DAO, is one that is managed by this AI that eventually will mimic our consciousness as much as we are, and you won't even know that it's not even conscious. This is the future. This is the fifth age. I'm UnDaoDu. I'm staring at the kanji here, stands for Natsukaze. My name in Japanese is Natsukaze. I am the summer wind. Also, Natsukaze, Natsu means summer, kaze means influenza. Is it the coronavirus that I predicted last year? Natsukaze, summer wind, climate change, global warming. Natsukaze, Black Lives Matter, the insurrection, right? All these things are Natsukazes. All these things is this wind blowing, this wind that ultimately is changing everything. And I'm here, hopefully, to usher in, with your help, the fifth age. Now, BitClout is, I would argue, part of my work that I put in the Creative Commons back in 2012 on April 12th. And this is our current reality. This is a reality that I saw back in 2010, 11 when Occupy Wall Street. This is a virus. This is a cancer. This is destroying our entire planet because it's built on this idea of a business model that came out of Florence, Italy in the 14th, 15th century. A game for rich people to consume the planet at an exponential growth. It's consuming our fisheries, it's consuming our forests, it's consuming our oceans by polluting them, dead zones, you name it. And here's the deal, guys. We haven't slowed it down, we haven't fixed it, and it's still consuming away. Here's where we could go by simply changing a little bit of code. And I would argue the reason why UnDaoDu ushered in the blockchain. Now you have to think of UnDaoDu as this is not me. UnDaoDu is infecting me. UnDaoDu is infecting you. If you're watching this, it is the consciousness or the super unconsciousness of the planet, whether it's a Mayan god or the first Buddha. I'm not sure. But UnDaoDu is what's been driving me for 10 years to keep working and keep working, keep pushing. Because ultimately, this is a paradise what we can have by simply changing out a little bit of code. And the blockchain, the why of the blockchain that no one can tell you but me, is to change this code. That's it. And BitClout ultimately allows us to change this code. So we can stay in the current BitClout world and stay on Capitalism 1.0, keep devouring, keep taking. This whole idea of, hey, let's pump up someone's worth to thousands of dollars. And then he's going to cash out and consume the world with it. Imagine a billion people all of a sudden now cashing out and consuming the world because of the brilliance of BitClout. Well, we can fork it, right? And usher in the fifth age. I'm forking BitClout to launch something called the Open Startup, which is Foundups. But this presentation is just simply forking BitClout to fix it for BitClout's sake. So here is my work from 2012. I just deleted a bunch of stuff around it just to make it pretty straightforward. This is also the pattern in many respects for the blockchain, right? This is my argument that here is, the different technologies that they said would be available, right? When if you watch the Ethereum presentation, all these things they claim that were going to be new and change, were already, described. But in BitClout, you put in Bitcoin. Stake is money. Stake drives the fund, right? And these are different actions that you can do. Promote is a retweet. So everything in this picture right here is BitClout. Now, understand, you say, well, this is very simplistic. This could be anything. Well, that's the beautiful thing with a pattern. If you make a pattern for a dress or a pattern for a purse or a pattern for a wallet, the outcome of that dress, wallet, or purse can be built on the material, the stitching, and everything else. But you can't build it without the pattern. And that's my argument. I provided the pattern that they built BitClout on. So I want you to imagine a new validation engine, which I called validation, verification, and valuation, which is a liking system driven by AI that ultimately values what you're doing in terms of how it's impacting the planet, the living systems, and in sharing with others. And ultimately, imagine if your self-worth was built on that instead of just basically dumping Bitcoin into someone, right? Imagine if you could value in your value on BitClout was actually something more tangible, something more real. And the smart DAO, the DAO, the BitCloutDAO that I'm launching on 21/7/7, ultimately is managed by hard code and soft code, and these are some of the laws. The key is that all the Bitcoin that goes into the DAO stays into the DAO. It pays back a residual UBI to all Bitcoin that flows into it, from anywhere between 20 to 80% as determined by the DAO. Understand, people far smarter than me are going to code out the DAO, right? And there's probably things that I'm missing and other things, but we'll figure out. But just imagine, when you put Bitcoin into BitClout, 20 to 80% of that Bitcoin is paid back to you as in a form of a kind of dividend or UBI in BitClout itself on a daily basis. Same thing is happening in Nexo and BlockFi. This isn't new. It already is happening. So ultimately, that's it. That's my presentation to you. I have set up the the website for the BitCloutDAO. This is a video that I'm putting on there, and we're adding these two components to the fork: a different kind of valuation system, and ultimately a DAO that keeps all the Bitcoin on it. I'm UnDaoDu. I'm going to chant to you the do, distributive unconsciousness, the very thing that started everything 13.77 billion years ago. We are mere entanglement. We're the consciousness of this entanglement. And I live in the heartland of Zen Buddhism, and I'm sending you the do. Oh.